My name is Jamie Friend, and today I will be discussing the famous whistleblower Emigh and his experience as it relates to the list of 7 steps to blowing a whistle as described by Trevino and Nelson. I will begin with a short discussion of these 7 steps. That will be followed with a short background about Emigh, followed by how he applied the 7 steps in his specific situation. Trevino and Nelson list 7 steps to blowing the whistle. Adhering to these steps can keep the whistleblower from making a fool of themselves or resigning when the situation does not merit such a strong reaction. Trevino and Nelson say that the best first action is to consult your immediate manager. This is a good idea because that's why your immediate manager is there, is to help you with everyday situations, and getting a manager on your side can help if you're dealing with an ethical dilemma. If your immediate management isn't helping, then you want to discuss the issue with your family. Sometimes it's good to get an outside perspective, and also they will definitely be affected by the actions that you take in this matter. Step 3 is to report to the next level of management. If your immediate manager isn't helping and you still feel like the situation is important, then it would be good to talk to someone higher than your manager. It might be a good idea to have your manager themselves set up the meeting with the person that's higher up on the corporate ladder. Step 4 is to contact your company's ethics officer. I feel like this could be moved up. I feel that that's why the ethics officer is there, is to help with ethical dilemmas. So if you talk to them first, then they could tell you whether or not it's a good idea to go to your immediate manager or perhaps the internal auditors. Step 5 is to consider going outside of your chain of command. It might be a good idea to get someone else in your company who's not directly linked to your management to help you in solving the problem. Step 6 is to go outside of the company. At this point, it might be a good idea to go to the regulators of your industry, like Cynthia Cooper reporting the problems to the FBI. Finally, if none of these steps have helped and you're still worried about the issue, it might be a good time to consider resigning from your position. If you fail to follow these steps and begin by going to the board of directors or the media, it could cost you your job or your reputation, and it could take attention off the issue that you are trying to address. Emigh's situation was a little bit different in that it seems that he was facing ethical dilemmas at WorldCom quite frequently. Most of these ethical issues, while bothersome to Emigh, weren't illegal, so while he would occasionally voice his quandaries, he didn't feel the need to go any farther than simply confronting his managers. His managers didn't take it very well, and Mr. Emigh began to feel that he was being passed up for promotions and stock options, so he took steps to get moved to another position in the company. In his new position, he still faced various ethical problems, but he didn't feel that any were illegal or worth causing a big fuss over until he received a directive for him to commit what he felt would be considered tax fraud. Emigh received this directive from one of his supervisors, Frank Gux, at the request of Fred Biggs, the chief technical officer at WorldCom. Essentially, this knocked out steps 1 and 3 in one fell swoop. Mr. Emigh felt that neither his immediate managers nor managers higher up in his command would be willing to work with him to solve the problem because they were advocating it or just following orders. Although this article doesn't mention it, I feel that it is likely that he discussed these issues with his wife, Janet. His family definitely felt the repercussions of his actions, and 14 months with Kim out of work. They can be comforted, however, knowing that their father is a true accounting hero. He then skipped to step 5, using some of his corporate political power to go straight to the assistant of the company's operating officer with his problems. He later received an email thanking him and saying that the new tax policy would not be put into effect. Although one might think that would be the end of the issues, it certainly was not. Mr. Emigh was questioned by a former boss about who blew the whistle and admitted that it was indeed him. Several weeks later, he was laid off in spite of his excellent performance reviews. This led to a 14-month stint of joblessness brought on, he believes, by the refusal of WorldCom to respond to recommendation requests. His perseverance has paid off. He has a job and is suing WorldCom. Thank you so much for your time.